I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 6:04, and I don't think you blanked. And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God was late. Okay. The first thing that we're going to do is, I had put non-public, but I've rearranged that a little bit. We've been, Donna and Megan have been working on plans of how to utilize the librarians and the staff and how to get them places to work out of while the library is shut down. The building's been shut down by the building inspector. We have mold in there, we've had people in, we had a flood when pipe broke yesterday, and that's when everything hit the fan. So virtually we got fans everywhere, you know. So
Madam Chair, may I interrupt you for just a moment?
Yes.
I just wanted to state, per the RSA, in accordance with the RSA 91A-A:2, that I am not attending this meeting in person this evening because I am out of state. So I just wanted that to be reflected in the notes. Thank you.
Thank you for following the RSA.
That's okay, no worries.
With all you have on your shoulders.
Okay.
So
It's
basically, what we said is, how can we maintain the staff? How can we keep business going as much as possible? It's obviously not going to be business as we know it last week. We're not going to have the library open. It could be for some time, okay? And so what we have to do is set up contingencies, and the ladies have been working on their contingency plans and talking about the staffing needs to fill those plans to serve the state, not the state, yeah. Well, it is, what she knows, you're serving the state, right? The town. Donna, would you like to start?
Sure. So I did write up, or actually Megan and I both together wrote up a short proposal. This is not intended to be a final version by any means. It's kind of a start. But we really appreciated having an opportunity to meet with Sean today and Kristen and talking about potential space options, because we really want to open essentially a temporary mini library, if you will, that will be open to the public for, and we're suggesting it be for the same hours that we are currently open in the library building. And the other thing that I'm asking you to consider tonight is to consider us being cashless, so we don't have to worry about carrying money to that location or keeping it secure. And in order to do that, we would need you to suspend fines and fees temporarily. So that's kind of the bolded request in here. But the list that I've also presented is, Liz asked me to come up with some, or actually all of the three of us to come up with ideas of how staff would spend their time. We do believe that, again, this is not a final list, this is just a beginning of brainstorming. But the three of us are fully in agreement that we have plenty for staff to do to keep everybody busy at their usual schedule. I can go, do you want me to go through all the other responsibilities list?
I don't think that's necessary. I think everyone can read this on their own. Okay.
So, I mean, the gist of it
you
is
might
really,
want to hit a couple of high points that you think are most important and the gist of the whole.
Sure.
Okay?
So we essentially would want to restore being able to provide circulation services in that temporary location. So allowing people to check out their holds. We don't know for certain yet if we're going to be able to remove anything from the collection. That's still pending. We're getting, that's supposed to be in the final mold investigation report that we received from the vendor he went with, which they promised me today, but they did not send it prior to me coming to this meeting. So I'm hoping to get a final answer on that tonight. We would be able to do accounts payable stuff off-site. We'd be able to do all of our promotional stuff still off-site. The town's been really great in working with us on getting programming moved to different locations if we can accommodate it. And we also, I think, have an opportunity to potentially ask to do some off-site programming in other locations and reach people we haven't reached before, to be honest. So whether that's asking schools to be in the libraries or the classrooms, we have some ideas there, or even other businesses in town that we've worked with before, doing some kind of like pop-up thing, I think would be really cool to do in the meantime. We're kind of looking at this as an opportunity for us to be able to do the things we haven't been able to do, to be honest, with the time that we have. And I asked the board that you kind of let us take that opportunity to do that. But we would, in the mini library, I'm calling it, we'd still be able to offer like our notary services, we want to be able to set up a few public computers so we can still do like public printing and public computer access. We probably have to be more mindful of like a time limit where we don't have as many computers to offer, but our policy already has a time limit set into it, so that's already taken care of. I'm trying to think of what else. I know, tax forms are coming. They haven't arrived just yet. We have the Massachusetts one, but not the federal ones yet. And so we'll have obviously a place to be able to distribute those still to the public. Let's see, the van deliveries can continue happening if they go to just our temporary location, both the state and the GMILK's van, so we'll still be able to get people the resources that they're looking for.
So even if we're not able to get circulating material from Leach, we can get it from the consortium, other state libraries. So there's still that possibility.
And then Jan, you had briefly brought up like wanting to pause ordering potentially. I personally would rather us not do that because we have not been ordering at the level that we normally would be this whole year. And really, if we have this like temporary space, the things people are going to want to see there are the brand new things. So if anything, I really think we need to almost keep ordering at that steady pace we have been so that we can stock this temporary space with those brand new things people are looking for. Plus, I also reminded Jan about we are still reordering the things that were damaged in the last water damage scenario. So we can't, and we have a deadline on like how long we have with Primex to fulfill that. So we really need to continue ordering those things at the very least. But I would recommend we continue ordering the brand new stuff too. Any questions for me?
No, but I might have a couple questions, and I want to applaud you for your ingenuity of how we can do this and keep it going. I know I just met a patron on the library steps, and I'm sorry, in the parking lot of here, the police department park, and they were very upset and disappointed. It was a little boy and his mom, and he wanted to go to the library, and they came down and they said, and so I explained, I'm sorry, it's shut down temporarily, but because the town belongs to a consortium, you can go to town, lots of towns, 14 towns around here. You can go to Derry, you can go to Manchester, and they were so excited when they heard that, so it's important we need to, on the door, we should have a list of all the towns and an explanation that you go with your library card to any of these locations and they'll honor you and allow you to take books out, okay?
Okay,
So,
I will say that there's a lot posted on our door right now.
There is, I know.
So that might be a little bit overwhelming, we can try. But I also want to say that the town has really helped us get the word out. It's posted front and center on the town website. It's posted on the library page. We shared it social media wise. I know not everybody's going to see it that way necessarily. So I'm fine with doing, I would probably say a more concise version for the door, or maybe posting it by our book drop even, because we've done that before. Since people, as they return things, may see it on the window there. But the door is pretty overwhelming right now.
There is, and maybe it can be rearranged a little bit, but right now, you have to let people know where they can go.
Yep.
And so, and that's the whole thing, and, it might be a little lower if they have to look, but the thing is, they look at the door and they're confused and they're upset because they said, what's our options? And then we're not telling them right up front. You know what I mean? A lot of people are not aware of Gmails and don't know, and that's why you're gonna have to have a help desk that when people say, what is this Gmail so I can start using, you know? You'll have to explain it and get them into the process.
That
But
was a
they do-
big, sorry, Liz, that was a big point, big part of this too, is that town has also assured us that we can reroute our main phone number to our temporary location. So we'll be able to answer the phones, and we can offer the reference services over the phone or in person still. So that's a big thing too.
Jan?
I know that one of the things that the town has in one of the rooms that you guys will be operating out of are some sandwich boards that I know that our council has used. I'm not sure exactly who owns them. I mean, you know, what committee or whatever, but, you know, it might be that you could take one of those and put, you know, get a poster made of the Gmail things or something and just have it be out there. We're closed here, go to these, or see us across the street or something. Because the problem that the people that I spoke with as I was going in and out of the building was that they couldn't read anything from, you know, and if they hadn't heard from the website, especially the parents bringing little kids in who were disappointed, but they couldn't see it until they were already up there. So, you know, it was harder to get the little kids away. But if they could see it further, you know. And the ordering the books, my only concern was just the fact of space. So that's one of the things I was concerned about.
Okay, and I do want to note that in particular, you need to order the books from that the insurance company has given you the check for. We
Right.
need to get that right away because we don't want to lose that money, and that money is only good, you said, for a certain length of time.
Yep, which
So
is
that's
why-
our first priority, okay? I would say, you know, I believe that we should not put any new books in the library until all the mold, you know, remedy is completed, okay?
Right,
But we
no.
will find places in town. We'll turn to Ms. McMillan.
What I'm saying is
And-
that our temporary space would house the brand new stuff. So it
And-
would be going straight there, not.
Yeah,
to the
and if we
library.
can put new books up and have people walk in, that's great, you know? But again, it might be overwhelming the amount of books that you have to, you know, that you end up getting in the interim, you know, so.
Well, right now, we haven't been ordering an overwhelming, we're not at our usual amount of
Yeah.
ordering. So I would say what we're ordering right now is very manageable. for
Take
this
care of the
scenario.
insurance books, get those
No.
done first thing. Thank you so much, I know that's your plan.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on that? No, okay.
And just,
Yes,
I
Maura.
have a library card, you know, one of the rolling library cards, the double-sided one. I have one at school. So, that would be helpful.
Go ahead, Maura.
Yep. So was there a building inspector's report?
No, you emailed me about that. I
Yeah.
responded with the notice that was posted at the library regarding the building.
Okay. And then with the mold, my concern is that the leak in the front area could potentially be a source for the issue in the ceiling for the lower level. So my feeling is that we'd have to address the roof leak and then redo the mold testing and then find out. So they haven't given you an answer as to whether or not we have to replace the books? No, not yet. But you said you anticipate that report today?
Yes.
Okay. When you get that, can you send it out to the board, please?
Yes.
And then, how long, the guy said he was gonna send you that today. I know that you were supposed to talk to some people about potential repairs. Did they give you any timelines or timeframes or costs for any of that today?
So today we worked with ServPro and the adjuster that was assigned by Primex. And the adjuster still hasn't made a final, is working on it, but hasn't made a final determination of what's a loss, essentially. We have an idea, but there's some like furniture and things like that that hasn't been determined yet. So that is still in progress. ServPro has offered to do a quote for whatever the adjuster is suggesting for repairs. And I did take them up on that because I said the more quotes the better. So they will be preparing a quote so that you have at least a number to start with from them. And those are the two that I worked with today. Is that summarized?
Yes, Jen.
And I worked with, well, Donna met them, but I worked with New Atlanta Builders, who's a contractor I have worked with. I knew he had some time in his schedule. They came down, they were there when the adjuster was there too, and they had a whole discussion of, where the air was coming from and how to plug the holes and whatever. But they were talking about going on the outside and taking off the boards at the outside around the windows and actually doing some of the work from the outside because those boards look like they've got a lot of damage, and that could be why the stuff is coming up, coming in from the outside there. So, but the things are getting taken down, but the adjuster is saying where to take things down, and it's the next couple of days they'll be taking more things down. So they will look again next week when things are more open.
Some of the things that we're facing, obviously, a lot of the mold probably may relate to the hole in the portico at the beginning of the library, and that was not tested. And I'm intending to bring the test people back. They'll come back and do a couple more spots if we want it, they said. So I think that is our main source of flooding always. Not flooding like the poles, but anytime it rains, anytime anything. We got bucket, it's got a paternal bucket that just sits there to protect the land, the carpet, So we're told to remediate, in our remediation, we're going to have to rip up and replace our carpeting throughout. We're going to have to clean all the vents and all the HVAC, anything where the air exchange goes, okay? We've already, ServPro has given us a quote for the vents. They were there today doing it. He said he'd have it to me by 6.
They're working on it.
Huh?
They're working on it.
Okay, they're still working on it,
Yeah.
okay. And they're already in there working, cleaning up, so makes more sense to do that. The problem is that there's three HVAC units on the top, and they actually have to get a crane to take them down to clean them. So, that's going to add some money in there. But, that's part of the remediation that we can't open up without.
Nancy also.
Oh, Nancy, go ahead, honey.
Hi, no, that's okay. So my understanding is that our town manager is there, and I know that he's probably had experiences like this before. So Madam Chair, I was wondering if you would grant him a little grace and maybe perhaps ask him to share his perspective on this, because I had a conversation with him the other day, and I know that the town is anxious to help and support. So I'm wondering if you would let him have the mic, so to speak, for a second or two,
Of course.
just to share his point of view.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
Mr. McCullen, can you share what your perspective of what's going on and what you've had experience at?
So I got a chance to work with Dawn and her team today. I think she's got most of the conceptual ideas of what we're planning. We talked about.
Can you hear him, Nancy? You can.
Yes.
And she's going to talk about the spaces, I think, at some point, right? Unless you've got that in your report to them.
I didn't yet because I wanted to be certain.
I'll let you do
they
that.
were-
Yeah, so we're good on all that, so I'll let you do all that. Just some of the things I'm concerned about is we're cleaning air vents now, and we're gonna be ripping out carpet and all, which is gonna throw all that stuff into the air. We're gonna have to clean it again. So this requires because we have different people doing different things, we have nobody managing that. Normally you'd have someone who's managing the whole project, because you have multiple trades out there. Because cleaning air vents this is not the time to spend the money to do that. Because we're gonna pull all this stuff, and it's gonna create all that area, and then things gonna get moved around, and you're gonna have to clean them out again. So normally you do all that first, and the last thing you do is you clean them out before you do final testing. At some point, this is gonna cost more than you folks have. We don't know that, right? So you're gonna need money from the town, and we're already starting to figure out, trying to figure out how we're gonna do that, how much money that's gonna be, so we can support it. The council's getting ready to find out what that number is, so that we can make sure our library gets open up again. But it's important that we take a very methodical approach. We need somebody managing this from the get-go. And I'm just concerned about we're taking steps that may be premature and spending money twice that we probably shouldn't. There's other better ways to do this. So I would suggest that we look at that. We've got people that are cleaning up the water right now, which is important to get that done, and so that will cause more mold and more damage. So it's good that we're doing that. We've also had multiple leaks over multiple years from what I've been told. We've got to fix the root problem. Jan's already talked about that, right? So when we take a step back and look at the comprehensive solution to fix that first, deal with those issues, insulation, whether it's roof leaks, whatever it is, I don't know what it is. I've heard conflicting information about that. We got to solve that problem. And then at the same time, we're cleaning up the space that's in there. And this could take a while, which is why the temporary plan that Donna and her team put together sounds pretty good to me, and we're ready to support that plan. So that would be my suggestion. Would be careful about not spending dollars twice. Because CERPRO, I mean, they'll take your money, right? But we're going to have to do that cleaning again, and I'm just a little concerned about that.
Yeah, I do understand that because they were talking about getting the carpets, washed, cleaned. And I'm going like, we're ripping them up. Why would you wash them? Type of thing. So
especially when you do the carpet squares like this, when you have this, it's a lot easier to remediate in the future than having that full carpet that you have.
I know, yes, yeah. Go ahead, Jan.
Well, so the idea of having the folks come in about the air vent was not to have them necessarily do it now,
okay,
but was so that we were getting the information. I was trying to work from the list from the mold people. Here's the list of things that they said we needed to do, and then we've got the list of all the fun from this week. And so you're right, there needs to be somebody who's managing that can say, no, it's got to go in this order, don't want to do this part twice. I agree that definitely is something.
Yeah, someone who knows what, I'm not an expert, but someone who knows what, I've dealt with these projects before, but I'm not the one doing the work. You need to have someone, either a clerk of the works or a construction management firm that's dealing with all the different trades, lining them all up at the right place, the right time to make it happen, so that we don't keep doing this time and again.
Right.
We're going to be out of operation here for a while, which are, our citizens deserve the best service they can get. We want to try to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. And again, I have trust in Jan, and she's basically been running it and working with Donna, okay? I've been in the last couple of days working with them, but I'm not leading guidance. I'm letting her take the lead because she understands about construction and everything, okay? And also about the money, okay? So your point is well taken. We need a project manager. We need to come up with a concept of what the project and the timelines for the project, okay? And as we're doing that, we need to plug in estimates of the dollars that'll take.
Right, and so this is not just a library project, because you're going to need outside funds from the town.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
when I go to the town council, we're used to different projects, and we're used to a certain way that's done. And, we're going to want a construction management entity that's managing that and dealing with all that, and then there's processes for bids and all those proposals to get done, so that, and again, I know you folks want to do this right as well.
Yeah.
So we just got to remember that as we move forward here, that the appropriate next steps in the right order that need to get done, and we cover all the issues, everything from public communication to dealing with staff and safety of personnel, books, and Don is already on this. We had a good chat about this today. So anyway, that's what I offer you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. I know, and I've talked to one of the counselors and told them that we need a decision on the roof. We can't be replacing carpeting and then having more floods and stuff, If the roof is truly, that's the cause. We either, whether it's a fix or a replacement, whatever it is, and this is a horrible time of year to have to try to get any roof stuff done. That can be delaying our process. Exactly, I mean, you're not going to put, I'll be right with you, Nancy. You're not going to put on new carpets down and stuff, if you know you're gonna flood, you know, so that's what we're gonna have to determine. Nancy?
Yes, Mr. Town Manager, could you recommend kind of a timeline for us in terms of when you feel it would be appropriate for us to speak with the town council?
The expectation is, we're gonna talk about this on Monday night, just to give them a status update where we are and what the latest information that we have. Because if you're gonna hire a construction management entity, you need to do that like ASAP. So you need to be able to have the leeway to do that, and you have to know that we're gonna cover you those costs. Because that's the first step. We've gotta get someone in here that's gonna manage all that, and, you know, we did a similar project with the Lions Hall. It cost us $25,000 to get the initial part of that going. So the council's gonna know, and you need to know, yep, we got your back, you get $25,000 roughly, and that range is what we're gonna be able to provide to you. And then I gotta go find that in the town budget elsewhere, which I will do. We're already starting to do that. Because we know this is gonna be an expensive process, and we've gotta get this done. Gotta get this building back in operation again.
Okay, so time is of the essence, so we need to get as much, I realize that today is Wednesday, but we need to get as much done as we can so that we can speak intelligently to the council on Monday. Is that your point of view?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna give them an update. It would be good to have somebody from the library there, if you folks are available to speak to her, because you know, obviously you're the board of trustees to do that. But
Someone will be there.
yeah, so I mean, I'm already making plans to where I'm gonna find this money elsewhere in the town's budget to get our library open up again as soon as possible.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, Jen?
Is there a building emergency facility kind of fund that we have? I know they did roofs on some buildings a few years back from that fund. So is there some kind of a fund that we've been putting some, you know, like emergency maintenance kind of things in?
So I'll answer that a couple ways. The expendable trust fund for
Yeah.
facilities maintenance, but there's only so much money in there.
Right.
We have a warrant article coming up on just in a couple of weeks. My recommendation is going to be that they increase that number on the floor, because we know that now that this happened, we've got to have funds to do this, right? That's one, and I'm concerned about drawing large sums of money out of that because we already have a backlog of maintenance elsewhere. So I'm looking at the operating budget of the town where I can make reductions to fit in the cost to do this. I'd like to see some of it come out of that. They got to figure out what this net looks like. We don't know yet. But that's the direction I'm working on right now, is where else in the operating budget, the FY26 budget was ends on June 30th, can I get money elsewhere in other departments to be able to scrape up to get the library back in operation again?
Yes?
We're 33 minutes into this discussion and we haven't yet thanked the library staff that have been trudging through water in work clothes because they weren't expecting to walk into burst pipes. And Donna didn't get home until 8 o'clock. I'm sure you guys were similar, but Megan, Jen, and Donna worked tirelessly. And the only reason that we're here today with all of these proposals on how to keep our staff, providing for our community, without fail, like they generated lists, they brainstormed, they pulled together. We are so incredibly lucky. And I hope that the community and our board embraces that. We are so lucky. We don't have a director. We don't even have an interim director. And they are working their tail end off in emergencies. So I hope that we are very, very thoughtful of their time and their management levels, and we don't question anything they do. Like, we should just be completely beholden to them, and not, just say yes to things like community outreach and those kind of things, because they're doing the work and we're here just, going over some papers, but they're the grunt workers. And I'm so incredibly grateful because our community needs you so desperately. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. I have a question for Mr. McMullen. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
go
see.
first.
No, you go.
In your experience, how long does a project like this normally take? Are we talking like 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years? Where does it normally fall?
So fortunately, a lot of the contractors now doing work this time of the year.
Right.
So we're
Yep.
in a better spot to be able to ground it if we move quickly enough before we start to get into warmer weather. So we're in a good spot in that regard. But it all depends on the magnitude of what we're dealing with. And we've got a water problem we still haven't solved yet, as we just talked about. And we have to do some investigative work to figure that out, which has not been resolved, whether it's the roof or things in the interstitial space that's within there that have to be addressed. We've got to fix those before we start putting new carpet down, and then doing the full cleanup. So this one is a little bit more complicated, and this library is bigger than other places that I've dealt with. So I don't know how long it'll take.
Do you have an idea of when we may know?
Well, again, we gotta go the step-by-step, probably get a construction management firm, and they know who the trades are, and they work with those people. How quickly can you get this material? These are pretty easy to get, carpet squares, right? And a lot of the sheet rock, those sorts of things that might have to get removed, that's pretty easy. The mechanical work, that's probably not gonna be that complicated, putting insulation around things, whatever it is, I don't know, because I don't know the circumstances there. But I think we can get a construction management firm on pretty quickly. We just did an RFP process a month ago with 3 construction firms for the SAU building. So we've already done that. We already had that list of companies. All 3 of them are qualified to be able to do this type of work.
So we should, one of the first things we should do is do the RFP.
It's already done.
Huh?
It's already been done. They've already
Oh,
been
for the
interviewed.
library?
Right,
No,
well,
so
it's
for the
the
SAU
same type
building,
of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We already did this process for
Okay.
different buildings, so we already selected a firm, but you can select any one of those 3, all 3 of them are qualified. To
So we
manage.
can look at that and go with those.
I would recommend that, because that's
Yeah.
going to save you, otherwise,
Oh,
you're going to
yeah.
have to go through all that process.
No, I mean, introduce the conversation with them type of thing of, we're now looking for the library, type of thing.
And then negotiate the price down as much as you possibly
Yeah.
can, which is what we did.
Absolutely, that's, and you guys are good bargainers, maybe we'll let you do it.
Well, no, we need to do it with the library staffs. We don't
Yes,
do that
yeah.
alone. This has to be a collaborative project.
And also with our treasurer.
Well, yeah, between the library and the town, it has to be done together.
Yes, yeah.
We will not do it by ourselves. This
No,
is-
I'm not expecting you to do it
I just want to
alone.
be really
Yeah.
clear about that it's going to be in collaboration with you folks directly, because the staff person is going to be the one that's dealing with these people on a regular basis there, and they know their space better than I do, and they know their space better than whatever contractor we're going to bring in. And a lot of questions has to be asked when they're doing certain things. Why? And is there a better way to do it? All that kind of stuff needs to be, you need to have your point of contact for the library. So, anyway. Did I answer your question? I really
Yes,
don't have a
thank you.
good answer
Yes,
for you.
and can you let us know who those companies are?
Yeah, so there was Ekman Construction, which may have done the library project in the first place. I'm not sure. I don't know if we verified that. North Branch Construction. Ekman's out of Bedford. North Branch is located in Concord. They did the fire station project, and they're doing the Villages at Technology Hill, that big project. So they have people that are close by. And then there's REARC is the company that actually got selected for this building. So they're going to be working right across the street from you, ironically. But that's the one we selected because of price and also the quality of work that they do. But anyway, so we've already done that. You don't have to reinvent that wheel. We don't have to go through that process. We can select any one of those 3, have them, and then bring them in and negotiate a price with them, and then have them start to work with various trades and get a project plan together, working with your folks as to how we're going to do this.
Okay. Any more questions or, no, okay, we'll move on then. I have a suggestion, and we have to cover the MOA today, okay? I promised the town council the other week that we would get it signed. Okay, so we have in all our packets has a copy of the draft, and we just need to review it with Mr. McMullen to make sure we've covered all his concerns, and, just a quick, and that we have addressed our concerns, okay? So we can vote for it tonight. Yes?
I think that one of the things that was different from the one that we had looked at and voted on, there was an additional, I think it's paragraph I, from the first section. From the second section. Library Board of Trustees vacancies and alternates. That was the
Okay.
one paragraph that was not in the copy that we had voted on when we voted on this prior.
Okay.
I don't know if other things will.
And then we issued a new draft after
I
that.
don't think so.
Yeah. So we should look at the draft, and you're saying everything's exactly the same except for I?
That was the new piece, that was the piece that was different when,
Yes.
when the town council voted for it. That was the piece that was different.
Well, then
So-
my suggestion is we discuss that one statement, and then we go and vote, unless you have anything different.
I don't remember if that was the only thing, I can't remember. I wanted to make sure we covered the vehicle,
Did you want a copy to look at?
no, I just,
Okay.
I won't, it won't refresh my memory, but I want to make sure we covered that, facilities, legal expense, I wanted to cover everything with IT, all that kind of stuff in there. I think we've got everything covered.
Okay, we can review it really quick, okay? We'll start at the beginning, okay? We had a purpose, and that's basically always the same. Do you want it read?
What's that?
Purpose?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's up to you folks.
Yes.
If there's anything you want to change.
No,
you let me know.
it's kind of a standard, yeah, out of the book, okay. The scope of services, there was the payroll services, the non-financial administrative services. Then they talked about credit card usage. Human resource services would include benefits administration and and additional HR functions, and they listed them. Then, and that's all was in our one originally. Okay, information technology services, and that had a lot of stuff, you know, talking about cybersecurity and everything like that. I'm pretty sure we covered that all before. Okay, use of town vehicles, that's in there. I think that was fairly new, a new subject, okay?
It was talking about using the van, although the van's not certified.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
We do have other vehicles if we needed to do stuff, but if we may have to use our town vehicles to get stuff from
Yeah.
here.
And I just wanted to point out, I think this is pretty current as the latest version, but to be sure. Facilities maintenance, we should read that one. So, but anyway, Library Board of Trustees vacancies and alternates. Then we went compliance with administrative procedures, government and autonomy, in terms of termination. Now, actually, Jan, you were saying that Library Board of Trustees vacancies and alternates is new.
That was new from the one that we had.
From the original one
From
we
the
had.
one we had done. This was
Yeah.
added in after the trustees and vacancy thing had come up. So it was voted on by the town council, but we had not voted on that paragraph.
Okay, so.
I think
why
that's
don't we
that's
review-
the main difference.
Since that's the new thing, let me review it really quick, okay? That way the town council can hear it too, okay?
Oh, they've approved it.
They've approved it.
The provision of New Hampshire RSA 202-8:10 outlines the process for the town council to fill vacancies on the library board of trustees, as well as the appointment of alternates. The library board of trustees may vote to recommend candidates to the town council for appointment to the board of trustees to fill vacant positions in, that's right, I did it, I said it right. The Board of Trustees will to fill the positions and of vacant and alternate positions. The town council will consider the recommendations of the Board of Trustees if the Board of Trustees follow the process used by the town to advertise and allow anyone who is eligible the opportunity to apply for the open position. So that's basically the statement. Do the town councilmen agree with that statement?
They're already approved it. It's already
I'm sorry.
signed. They've already approved it, the chairman's already signed this agreement.
Okay, so we're all set with that. Okay, yes.
So the only comment I have is I would like to see that I paragraph is actually used because you know we're still 6 months from when we needed alternates, and you know now we have another election coming up, but then there's more alternates, and I know they're having problems getting enough alternates for the other boards and things too. So I just would like to make sure that since they're It's there.
that it continues to be a practice.
That they would use it.
Yes, that
That's
they would
all.
use the prep. Yeah, obviously, the word we got is that, we have an election, what, in 2 months, And so we'll be waiting for that election for the alternate program.
There's no alternates in the
They don't
election.
get elected.
And they're appointed by the council.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were appointed, so actually, there's no reason to wait for the election.
Well, it's the town council's decision.
I'm sorry, what?
That's just the town council's decision,
Yeah,
I think.
yes, exactly. I'm just sending a message, okay? So,
That
are we-
was
I just wanted to confirm with Donna about, we talked about the credit card last time, so I just want to make sure if this was, Donna, everything that you hear that was the same thing, that there was a question about getting something in the library name instead, or I don't know if we need to tweak that at all.
Yep, this
Justin?
is.
We did that already.
Okay, all right.
okay, yes, Donna?
I just wanted to, to be clear, I'm not expecting the board to present another amendment to the town council at this point. I understand that it's already been a long process. However, on the record, I would like to note that I sent the board a list of recommendations to be included in this document back in September, and none of those have been included. And I'm still concerned that those items were not considered or discussed by the board. But again, I understand where you are in the process, and I'm not expecting you to turn around and have the town council do this again.
Okay, thank you. And I do admit I did see that, okay? But it's just like we have so many issues, you know what I mean? So I would like to have someone make a motion. Yep.
I'd like to make a motion that we sign this memorandum of agreement. Does this have a date on it? Does
Yes, now,
the document itself doesn't have a date on it?
no, we're gonna have to, when we sign, you sign it, you date it right
Today,
there.
the date's
At the
today.
bottom.
Yeah,
You
okay.
date it.
So, I'd like to sign this document. I was just saying if there was a version, or a date of the document itself.
It was 9/2.
No, just this document, the date of this document.
9/2. That's what I just printed off and handed to her, to Donna to send out. It was meeting of 9/2, September 2nd, that we last touched that document.
I know, but then there's been stuff added to it, which was the library, that I paragraph.
Yes, in 6,
Okay.
in 6/4, we did the original, and in 9/2, we added the I. Okay? So it was done in 6/4, and then we carried it through the summer, and then we actually went and reviewed it again in September.
It was in October that they added the paragraph, because that was when they did the vacancies. That's when they did the alternate and decided not to do anything
Okay.
about the alternates.
Yep.
But it was that meeting that they approved this MOA.
So what probably happened is we took the latest thing, and we didn't change the title, and we just
So,
made the changes.
I'd like us to approve this. I make a motion that we approve
Okay.
this document.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Jan McLaughlin, aye.
Beth?
Marco, aye.
Helen Palmieri, aye.
Liz Thomas, aye?
Maura Ryan, no.
Okay.
Nancy. Don't forget Nancy.
Oh, Nancy! So, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
We can't hear you.
Sorry. So
There.
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, motion passes. Okay, I think the next thing is going on top. Let me look.
I would like to make a motion too that we move ahead with this beginning list from the staff in order to start the process of having our satellite library. There's a lot to be worked out, but I want it done in
So
public
you
and on
want to
record.
approve
Yes.
the procedures?
Yes.
And we'll approve
Yes.
them to a certain point?
Or
all of them?
just start the process of
Yes.
okaying them to get
Okay.
everything going. Sean has said that there's space ready, and I want just to put it on the record that we're moving forward with this and we support this. It might have to
Second
be
that-
tweaked and
second
worked
that
on
motion.
with all of us, but that we all understand and agree to that. You second, Nancy?
Nancy seconded.
Okay.
I do second that.
Any other discussion?
Yes. Donna?
I just wanted to add specifics about the space, with Sean's permission. So this room will actually be our temporary public space. We're very grateful to have it available to us.
Good sense.
And then we'll also have office space in town hall that we'll be able to do, our administrative work.
Awesome. Think of the steps you'll get in, going back and forth.
We worked on your meetings too, facilitating your meetings in council chambers. So I think that these were sent out, if you can switch to Thursdays, I don't know if you can. Just think about that, because
They sent an email, if we were able to change some of our dates, that they could have us be at town hall
Yeah.
for our meetings too. We may have to, it came in email, so we'll have to look at some
Okay,
dates.
yeah.
So
if
we
you
can
can,
look at
council,
those.
then we'll give you council
Yeah.
chambers and
Okay.
it's all be set up.
Okay, we'll look at those.
Yeah, we have actually, go ahead.
We already have a
Yeah,
motion, we already have a motion on the floor.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we
I,
need to finish this motion, yeah.
I agree that we need to give them the bandwidth to be able to do that.
Okay. Can roll call vote then? If there's any other
Discussion?
discussion?
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
The
Did we
only,
get it, did you second it?
Nancy did.
Nancy
Yes,
did.
okay.
Laura
yeah.
wants to say
Oh, Nancy,
But Nancy wants.
hi up there, I
Warner wants
forgot.
to speak.
No, that's okay. No, I was just making sure that I seconded the motion, Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Warner wants to say something.
the only thing that I'm concerned about is we don't really have a timeline yet, and while I'm not opposed to the idea of doing this, I would like to know more information. I feel like we're making this decision without full information. So
We're
I'll
not-
say that.
We're not going to have a timeline until the
Okay,
people can.
yeah, so let's call we did get a second. So if you have more discussion.
I can answer a little bit of that.
Yeah, well,
So our goal really is to be able to offer services to the public again. That's our main mission. We want to be able to do that. We can't do it out of our current building, and the town has been very great with working with us to accommodate us elsewhere. In terms of timeline, we could be up and running as soon as next week in terms of a temporary space. So just to give you a timeline in that sense. I know that you don't have necessarily a timeline for the work to be done at the library, but in terms of us being able to offer services again, I would say we could do it as soon as next week.
Thank you.
okay,
Warner, were you concerned about like the length of it, like that piece, or were you concerned about how?
Yeah, and just how is this gonna work? Are you gonna have like all 15 people in one room? How is it gonna?
So the way the schedule works now, if we keep it at our current hours, the staff is very staggered throughout the day in terms of their shifts because we have part-time and full-time staff. So it's not like all 15 of us are going to be in one space. Plus we have the space next door at Town Hall to do admin work. So whoever is going to be doing admin work will not be in this physical room. Also dependent on whether the collection will be available to us still, we'll probably need like a runner or a floater, whatever we call it, to go pull stuff from the collection and bring here. So it's going to be a lot of moving parts.
Mostly this list was because Liz asked us to make sure that we had enough work for all of our staff to be able to still be paid.
yeah, that was my concern. I mean, I don't want to, have to furlough anyone or anything, but I just had to make sure that, from the town's perspective, do we have enough work to keep everyone
Right.
busy?
And so this
And
is
so that's what you guys
what
created,
we
the
were
list
able
of
to-
work
yeah.
that we could, and actually, even some new services might come out of this,
Right, and this is such a very preliminary work because we were in meetings today and met with the not the contractor, but the assessor and different things that are going on. So we didn't have a lot of time to work on this. So this is really like brain dump almost.
And there's other things you could offer.
We're going to be able to expand the list for sure.
Yes, I understand that.
I think Nancy wanted to ask something.
Nancy,
So, yes, so, Madam Chair, I wanted to say and express, I understand your perspective completely, but how many hours are we into this crisis and emergency? 48? So this is an emergency situation. And we don't have time to dilly-dally around. We have to move as quickly as we can with the information that we have. Obviously, we don't have all of the information yet, but we can't just go, well, I gotta get it, well, we gotta figure this out, well, we gotta figure that over there. We have a library to run. We have a community to serve. We have staff that we have to place somewhere. So while I agree that we need more information about this project long-term, we don't have any time to waste. So again, I just want to emphasize, we're only, how many hours are we into this emergency, Liz? 2 days, 48 hours, 60 at the most? So again, this is an emergency situation, and I want to thank the town profusely for offering to help us and support us, and I just think that we need to get with the program. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Well, obviously, all of our employees are still being paid, okay? And we now have a plan that within a week, hopefully, or two, it might take two, which is, even 3, whatever. We got a plan to move forward. For what you need to do with your staff, how you need to separate them, what you need to set up, and go ahead, Jen.
Well, I think that those are kind of things, as they were saying, that this is a very quick plan.
Yes.
And then they're gonna have to sit down with their groups of people, and say, how are we gonna accomplish this? Who's gonna do what, when? I mean, that's kind of what they're gonna have to do, and, it would be great if we get the information, back, so we know as well, once you figured out those
100%.
plans.
The other thing is that right now, as of today, which will change within the next 2 weeks, the employees are not union, and so you can ask them to do something that's not on their job description, okay? But you probably won't need to do that. But you have some flexibility, okay? And then when there's going to be a vote coming up within the next 2 weeks, and once they go union, then we'll have to really more, follow the guidelines of the job descriptions, okay?
But yeah.
But I know
everybody
you're all
is
aware of
within-
that, and that you plan to
Yeah.
do that.
It's already within their job description.
Exactly,
so
yeah,
we
okay,
should
great,
know that one.
great. Okay,
Okay, we
so,
ready to vote then?
yes,
Okay.
on this plan, right?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yep.
are.
Jan McLaughlin, aye.
Beth Martin, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Maura Ryan abstain.
All right.
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Okay,
Thank you, Nancy Hendricks. Okay, so that's where we're going from there. And,
Madam Chair?
yes,
I don't know if we need a separate motion about the cashless.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we agree that we're going to suspend fines and the collection of funds for the next, until further notice.
May I ask that you include fees too?
The fees, okay. Fees too, how's that?
in order to make the
Fines and
cashless
fees, so
during
that
this
they
time.
don't have to worry about cash.
I second that.
And, yeah. So, in discussion, I gave you a breakdown of the money that came out today. We removed the funds, since we'll have people going in and out of the building, we've removed the funds from the building and they've been deposited in the account. So we can take them out when we need them, but so that we don't have to worry about, who's gonna be in what rooms and.
Did you also give the Friends their money back? Their jug?
We have not given them the jug, but they'll have to come and get their jug.
I can ask.
okay. The other thing is, just mentioning credit card, is that we have a new credit card issued. It is in the name of Leach Library. So Donna, you'll be in charge of that. And you'll be able to use that for expenses that come up.
Okay, I mean, I would say that it should be whoever's appointed interim director.
Say that again?
Whoever's appointed the interim director will be in charge of.
Okay,
I am
I'm
not-
saying, yeah, at now, right now, okay?
Yes.
Okay,
As of
yes,
today.
okay. And then,
I do believe that somebody needed to respond to Justin's email about the credit card still. He was waiting for guidance from the board.
Okay, thank you. I will look at that.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
He wants
I know
3
could-
people. He
Huh?
wants 3 people. I think 3 people. Wasn't it 3?
No, he was looking for guidance from the board on who was going to be responsible for the credit card
Ah.
and how to move forward, but it is ready to pick up.
Okay, we'll look into that, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on, the, one
Did we
thing.
vote on the cash list?
We have a
No,
motion,
go
don't we
ahead.
have a
Oh, we
motion on the
didn't, yeah.
floor?
Any other discussion
Yeah,
on making the library
yeah.
cash list?
Are we done with the discussion of
Okay.
this? We could take the vote?
Jan?
Yes?
Does Jan McLaughlin out?
Beth Martin, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Nancy
Okay.
Hendricks, yes.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay, the next item, I know things are going a little different today, and if no one has any objections, I think that the next item that we should talk about is the MOA, because I know that the town council was concerned that we didn't have it signed, and also the town. And basically, the discussion was, I think a week ago, they asked us when we could get it signed. So
Well,
we
we're all set, we
we've
just
done
did that
that.
already. We did that
Oh,
already, we jumped ahead, so you're good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I am sorry. It's been a long 2 days, let me tell you. Okay, what's next on it? I think we're going into non-public, right? Yes, Donna?
Can I just ask, I guess I'm looking for a little bit more direction in terms of the work being done at the library, and is someone on the board going to be figuring out one of the construction management companies? Are you looking to me to reach out to them? I need some
No, I think.
direction.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
I would be happy to provide that role, since I'm not employed, to do that, if that would work with you guys. I'd rather you spend your time working with your staff and getting the library up and running versus you be calling contractors and things like that. And I agree that since we've got companies already in the pipeline, that would be the area that we should be going to, but I'd be happy to meet with them and come up with a recommendation, hopefully quickish for sometime soon, like next week, if that's okay with you guys.
I would just ask, I guess my expectation, just to lay it out there, is that whatever construction management company you choose, that I or the interim director you choose would be the person working with them directly.
Correct.
Okay,
You're the on-site manager,
right.
okay? Sounds good. Okay, we agree with. Okay, I was going to say the last thing that I think we're going into non-public, right?
Is there anything else that you guys can think of? that
You're gonna do L first, because you don't need us for your A, you probably need us for the L. Or maybe you don't, it's up to you.
I would just ask one more thing for public. It's just for
Yeah.
you to decide on your meeting next week, if you're moving it to the 5th.
I make a motion that we,
Well, 1 minute, we have a question now.
This was related to my question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that we meet on Thursday, the next meeting on Thursday night, and that next week we discuss the going forward.
What
Without the
time?
meetings.
Usual time, different time?
I think it's 7 o'clock is what
7
works for the
7
folks.
p.m. next
Yes.
Thursday at town,
Yep.
at Edwards Hill Chambers. It's available.
So are we going to be able to have some kind of a plan, even an outline or a framework of a plan at the town manager's recommendation to discuss with the town council on Monday?
Sure, we can see what we can scope out.
We should meet tomorrow morning,
Okay,
and then you've got 3 companies,
yep,
and, we can ask 3 of them to give us a quote, like ex post facto quickly,
right,
and then we can decide by Monday, hopefully.
yep,
We can try to move that quickly, and then by Monday evening,
we'll have.
you can come in and you can say, okay, this is what we
Yes.
want to do, and this is how much we need, we know tentatively this is what it's gonna cost.
Yep,
And then,
And I'd like to jump in on that meeting, just a
Sure.
backup. Okay, so there'll be 3 of us meeting tomorrow morning.
yeah,
Okay, great. Yes,
actually tomorrow.
sound good, thank you. Thank you for pointing
Yep.
that out. That was a great
That's
idea.
all right, don't worry. Thank you,
Yep.
Madam Chair.
Okay. Are we ready to go into non-public?
well,
Oh, what did you,
I make a motion that we meet on Thursday. Do we vote for that one?
No, that's what I'm saying, yeah. I think we did not vote on that. And Donna, did we address your answer, the thing that you?
That is what I was asking.
Good, okay, good, okay.
I'll second that.
And discussion on that is, that's when we couldn't find a time and a location, because unfortunately Wednesday is the peak night for,
Jam-packed.
you know, for the different committees to meet. And so losing our conference room was, you know, kind of devastating, okay? So that's why we're suggesting doing it on Thursday. Does
Thursday
anyone
at
want to
7.
have a discussion on that? No? Then let's have roll call.
I, Jan McLaughlin.
Yes, Beth Rocco?
Yes, Helen Palmieri.
Yes, Liz Thomas?
Yes, Maura Ryan.
And,
Yes, Nancy Hendricks.
thank you, unanimous, it passes, okay. So I'll be sending out an agenda probably tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, okay? I've been working on it, so, all right. Yes,
Is there anything that the town councilors or Dan as our liaison wish to ask or let us know so that we can address?
We just
between
need-
them?
We had section L in there, we talked about, there's some things we should probably talk to you
Okay,
about, the insurance piece and stuff like that. That
Okay.
shouldn't be discussed in public, just so we're all
we're
aware.
in non-public, and we're gonna do
Under L.
non-public, and you'll bring those concerns now
Under L,
ahead of
if
us.
you were willing to entertain us, we'd love to do that.
Yeah,
in non-public.
Under L.
Yes.
You're two listed there.
we do
Okay.
allow you to do that. Okay, good, okay, all right. Can I hear a motion anyway?
I'd like to make a motion to go into non-public
Second?
according to,
Yeah, here, oh, you got it.
RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, paragraph A, and RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2-L.
So you have to do, you can't do both of them.
Oh, it's one or the other?
You do L, you don't need us for A, that's your own business. You-
Okay,
So we'll do L
Do the
first.
L.
L, and you
Do
have
the
to
L.
come back out and go back in under A.
okay, so we'll do L.
Okay. Second, anyone?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
I, Jan McLaughlin.
Yes, Beth Rocco?
Yes, Helen Palmieri.
I, Liz Thomas.
I'm Maura Ryan.
Ta-da,
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
thank you. Okay.